Hey guys, I just wanted to come on live today and kind of share a story with you just about fear and how it controls all of us, and just some certain steps that I'm personally taking right now to eliminate some of that fear from my life. A buddy of mine, Dominic, actually posted something about this earlier today, and I listened to it, and it just kind of reaffirmed so many things I believe in about how fear controls all of us, and just how we can harness that fear for good and not to limit us. So I just kind of want to share a little bit about that, share my story, and about, how fear was limiting me and what I've been doing just to kind of break past some of those things. So all emotions, if you think about it, when you don't use them, they shrink. And so a lot of us focus so much on anxiety or failure or fear that those emotions get bigger and bigger and bigger, while our feelings of love, maybe so we're not focusing on love, or feelings of passion or vitality, those things that we're not focusing on, they're going to shrink for us. So one thing that I've been doing recently is really flipping that switch and focusing on feelings of love and passion and vitality and health. And, those things have been just growing and growing, become such a bigger part of my life. But when I kind of look back at how I was living my life, I lived my life with a lot of fear. And fear is really what stops us all from moving forward and taking those next steps in life. And so, what are some things that people are afraid of? People are afraid of rejection. They're afraid of failure. They're afraid of being alone. They're afraid of love. They're afraid of not just, the fear of rejection once you are in love. They're afraid of losing love once you have that feeling. The unknown. That's why a lot of people stay with jobs or in situations that they're unhappy, whether it be, a job or relationship or whatever. They stay in it because they don't know what's going to happen next, and that's scary for a lot of people, not knowing what's going to happen next and not knowing, what your future holds for you. And so my big fear for so long was really holding me back, and that I really, this is kind of scary to say here, but my biggest fear was that I wasn't good enough and that I didn't deserve good things in life. I have lived a pretty great life so far, and I always just said to myself, I'm not good enough for these things. I don't deserve any of this. So I just held back. I held back. And let's talk about where that got me and what that did. So I graduated college with a communications degree in 2006, College of Charleston, and I proceeded to not apply for any jobs in my field once I graduated because I was scared. I was scared that, my GPA was pretty low after graduation, and nobody would hire me because I wasn't good enough for the position. I didn't have any experience. And so I never tried. I never applied. I never tried for any positions. So I stayed a server, which is fine. I enjoyed waiting tables. I enjoyed bartending. I enjoyed the lifestyle that it provided for me, and I was able to travel. So I kind of made excuses. Which excuses are like assholes, huh? We all have one. So I made a lot of excuses. Oh, this is allowing me to travel, which it was, but other things, you know, in my field and things that were passionate about would have allowed me to do that as well, as if I just opened my eyes and tried and said, I am good enough. And so I kind of stayed in those positions. And I did it for a really long time, because after you're doing something for a really long time, then it's easy. And then you're not trying, because that was another big fear of mine that held me back. That is also terrifying to admit on a Facebook page like this, but this is what I'm trying to break past all these fears, and so this is why I do this stuff. But what if I try and I fail? What are people going to say about me or think about me? And then what if I try and I succeed? I don't want to lose my friends. And so, well, shit, I set myself up for a life of being super mediocre. I don't want to try too hard, because if I try really hard and succeed, I'm scared of what people are going to say about me and think about me. I don't want to try and then fail, because then what are people going to think about me and say about me? And I'm not good enough for any of this anyway. I don't deserve any of this in life. So I'm just going to stay right here. Right here. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm not going to try anything new. And so it really did set me up for failure. You know, I didn't, and that's the thing, and some of you guys are watching this and you're like, oh, Courtney, like, that's such bullshit. Like, you started a paddleboard business and that was successful. Here's the thing with that, and this is something that Braden and I talk about all the time now that I've really kind of come to terms with these fears. I started that, but I didn't go all out with it. I half-assed it. Like, I started out with 6 boards, and then I only wanted to do 10 boards because I was scared that if I went all in, and I kept my waiting tables job because that's safe. And, you know, I kept my job as a personal trainer because that was safe, and I knew that would provide me money. I didn't go all in with that. I've never gone all in with that. Like, this summer is going to be my first summer that I'm like, you know what? This is what I love, and I'm passionate about it. I'm going all in. I was scared. I was holding back, and I was scared the whole time. And so, and it was also an easy out. Like, even at the end of this past summer, you know, when Braden and I were talking about, like, where we're going with our life and what we're going to be doing next, you know, the paddleboard business for me, I was like, oh, it's just a little hobby. This isn't a real career. I didn't build this for myself. I'm not good enough to build anything for myself. I didn't do this. And so it's fine if it doesn't work out because, you know, who really cares anyway? Setting myself up for failure every single time with these fears. And so now, finally, I've been able, number one, to really pinpoint these fears and how they've been holding me back. So I've been able to pinpoint them. And number two, I've been able to flip them. You know, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve this. Well, then who in the hell does? Fuck that. Pardon my language. If I don't deserve working hard and getting everything I want out of life, then who does? Who does? Fuck that. I'm done with that one. That one's put to rest. I'm done. You know, if I try and fail, people are going to say, I told you so. You know, if I try and fail, then I'm going to really know who my real friends are, number one. And number two, it's never going to be a failure because I tried my best. You know, I put everything into everything I do. And I really am going to from here on out. And so it's never going to be a failure. And if I try and I succeed, then people are going to look up to me and they're going to see me as a leader and they're going to see me as somebody that they want to follow and, you know, be a part of my life. And you know, people are going to want to be a part of my life. And so I've really been able to flip those in my brain. And so, you know, that's something that I kind of just wanted to share with you guys. And here are some steps. These are the steps that I used. in order to kind of get to this realization. I want to share that with all of you guys. I want to share some of my knowledge. So I want you to, number one, I want you to think about what your greatest fear is. Why haven't you tried yet? Why haven't you tried something new? You know, why haven't you quit your job? Is it because you know, is it because you know that it's going to be there and you're certain about it? Why haven't you left a relationship that's bad? Is it because, you know, it's not that bad and I really don't deserve it. You know, why haven't you started taking care of yourself? Is it because you're scared that if you try something new and it doesn't work out for you, people are going to say, I told you so? Who would do that? And that's the funny thing, we tell ourselves these things, but in the reality, I was talking to my mom about this, and I was like, if I tried something new and it didn't work out, who out there would really say I told you so? Maybe they'd say it behind my back, but not to my face. So, you know, try something new. So number one, what is your greatest fear? You need to identify that. Is it that you're not good enough, you don't deserve things? That's a really big fear for a lot of people. And the second one really is fear of failure. You know, most people fearing trying a new business or really putting themselves out on a limb and failing, or in a relationship. What benefits have you gotten from that fear so far? How has that fear aided you in life? For me, you know, it kept me comfortable. It kept me comfortable with where I was with my career and my station, you know, where I felt comfortable making that certain amount of money and never really trying. And, you know, it didn't really give me anything to push for. I didn't really have any big goals. So I was super comfortable being where I was. So it aided that. But you need to see the bigger picture than what your fear, because every single fear gives you something. So think about that and be honest with yourself. What has that fear given you? And what are the benefits of having that fear? And then I want you to think about how can you benefit by eliminating that fear? What do you have to gain? If you flip that fear, what do you have to gain? Do you have to, you know, are you going to gain a life of freedom? Are you going to feel free for the first time? Are you going to get healthy? Are you going to start treating yourself better? What is eliminating that fear and flipping the switch on going to do for you? Like, I want to know. And then, why? Why now? Why right now? You need to really, really know why it's time to finally let this fear free. For me, I was just done. I was done thinking that I wasn't good enough. I was done thinking that I didn't deserve things. It was such a self-deprecating, and this is something I still deal with on a daily basis that I really think about, is how self-deprecating I have been to myself and how I've been putting myself down in the past thinking that, you know, I don't deserve the nicer things in life, or I don't deserve to live the life of my dreams. And I want you guys to all know that you all deserve to live the life of your dreams. You all deserve everything in the world, and it's right there. So all you have to do is go out and grab it, guys. And so I just wanted to kind of leave you with that thought and with that story about how fear guided me. I mean, I graduated from college 11 years ago. In 2006, I was graduating next month. And for 10 of those 11 years, 10 years of my life, I let this stuff hold me back and hold me down. And shit, it's not happening anymore. So you better watch out, world. I stalled for 10 years. I stalled. And now my foot is on that pedal, and I am fully accelerating into my future and into life. I want you to accelerate. And I love you all out there in Facebook land, and thank you for watching, and have a fabulous, oh shit, I forgot, it's hump day. Wednesday's hump day. All right, I'm going to go get some work done. I'm going to go to the grocery store. Love you all. Have a great day, and stop letting that fear limit you, and let that fear, I will never let that fear limit me anymore. I'm letting that fear guide me, because I am good enough. I'm never going to let it stop me again. Love you.